My name is Mariana Mahani, and this week I'm going to show you a repeater combination. So a repeater is when you're repeating the same movement or staying on one side of the body. That's what I call repeater. And we're going to combine two moves. We're going to combine a knee repeater with a single leg kick. Here we go. So it's knee, knee, kick, kick, knee, knee, kick, kick, knee, knee, kick, kick. Now, I did that at a level which I would say is in between to, well, it's level one. I would call that level one. So level one is I'm bringing the knee up and down, and I'm kicking the leg forwards and back. My arms are pulling right back and stretching all the way out with the kick, and I'm hopping on the opposite foot. As I do the knee repeater, my foot touches the bottom, and then I kick to the front and to the back. Now, I just did a light hop with that. I can completely change the intensity of that move if I stay stable, meaning I'm not hopping on the opposite foot. Check it out. And that becomes a very powerful leg exercise on the leg that's moving. So knee, I feel my quads, and I feel my hamstrings, particularly as I bring the leg back. So pull up, but it's a push back. It's the push back that activates my hamstring and my glutes more. Now the arms play an important role because you've got to make them big. You can't be doing this and expect the same result. If I don't use my hands and if I don't make my arms move, I'm not going to get the same result. Now the other way I can do the same movement pattern is by making sure I'm really hitching the opposite knee up, and this is what it looks like. Okay, and that changes the emphasis. So now it's all about the leg I'm standing on, wow, and having to propel myself up on that standing leg. That definitely got my heart rate up. So they're quite different. And if I was to grade them, I'd say the one with just the bounce, level one, and then the other two are about the same intensity, but they feel different. To me, they're different exercises. So you could play around with it. You could play around with different levels. You could say, stay stable. Now add a hop. Now add a rebound. Go back to stay stable. Add a hop. Add a rebound. Oh, wow. And that would make it really interesting because they've got to really focus on what they're doing with their body. Great heart rate exercise, big movement pattern, so make sure that you're teaching this while on pool deck. And that is this week's Aqua Tip. Performing the two knee repeater and the kick forwards and back is going to be a little bit of a challenge for you as an instructor on pool deck unless you have something like an aqua frame. Now, the option where you're staying stable on the bottom of the pool, which is such an amazing workout. You feel it in your quads as you pull the knee up, and then you feel it in your hamstring as you pull that leg back. Meanwhile, your left leg stays on the bottom of the pool. That's an easy demonstration on land, right? Easy, because you're not really having to do anything. The only thing is that you need to make sure you're demonstrating big arm action. So knee up, pull the elbow all the way back, and then make sure that you're lengthening your arms through and you're communicating that to your clients in the pool.
But once we add the hop, and once we add that hitch where we hop up and down, bring the knee right up, it feels like you need some help, right? And that's where the aqua frame is useful. Now, I'll show you how I use the aqua frame for this. I bring the frame in front. And so now I'm hopping, hopping, kick, back. Hopping, hopping, kick, back. Now remember, the foot was touching the bottom of the pool when I was doing that knee repeater. So the foot goes all the way down to the bottom, but there's that hop. Now you might be able to get away with being able to say, all right, do the same exercise, but now add a little hop to it. And remember, adding the hop is not as challenging as the two other alternatives, which is staying really stable and doing the hitch kick. When you do the hitch kick, you definitely need to have something like a frame because it's really challenging to communicate this. And this is where you're going to bring both knees up, and then you're bringing that knee up as you kick. So let me see if I can demonstrate that better. So up, up, kick, kick, up, kick, kick. There we go. And that's challenging. And I can only get maybe a couple of those out because I really got to use my arms. Heart rate goes up as an instructor, really feel it. You could possibly do it this way as well, where you're sitting on the back of the frame and you're going 1, 2, kick, kick, and that's a little bit easier because I'm sort of propping my buttocks up on the back of that frame. So that was a little bit less challenging as an instructor. It sort of just depends on which way feels better for you. But I can do that with sitting on the back of the frame. So lift, lift, kick, kick. But there's a bit of coordination involved in there. You've got one leg moving while the other leg's doing something completely different. So I do recommend that you practice this at home or practice this at the pool before you teach the class so that you're not all over the place having the wrong leg moving. But it's probably a good idea to actually start by teaching them to go knee, knee, kick, back. And you can say add a hop to it. There's a hop. Yep. And then you've got that get down low, stay low, and then add the hitch kick. And if you don't have a frame, you might be able to communicate, bring the other knee up as high as you can whilst you're performing that movement. Remember, it's a great heart rate exercise. It's fantastic. And you've got to try it with doing the 3 different levels. Do it yourself in the water. Your participants are going to love it. It's very, very simple. And that is this week's Aqua Tip.